All right, welcome everybody to the hardcore post-show podcast for Minecraft 6. I'm the host, Panda Force Gaming. I've got Holly Doodaloo with me, and
Yo.
the architect, Nate. Cool kid.
That's me.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk for a little. Oh.
No, keep talking. It's okay.
We're just gonna talk for a little while about
Let it.
this season and the map and just general stuff about that. So currently we're here at the spawn. You remember that it
missed
looked like
my
this
hole.
for exactly 1 minute at the beginning of the season.
I missed my hole. Fast digging!
15 people here probably they tear through that pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, especially it was really all Holly who made the hole. Because Holly was the only one who was like, yeah, we're gonna need a house, so it's gonna be this hole.
That I was.
I appreciate that mindset.
Yeah, somebody needs to be the one.
Somebody.
But to get into the meat of the potatoes of this season, the big thing about it was the fact that I, died and dropped the compass to go to the dungeons. So I guess we can get into that. Let's go over towards the first dungeon. I guess we can just fly over to it.
Yeah.
So essentially, the idea of this season was that I wanted to have the custom-built dungeons, and it had been something I've been thinking about for a while, but once I learned that Nate was such a fucking good builder, that's when it sort of became a reality. How long were you working? What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, Ice Spire? That's awesome.
Well, maybe because it.
Yeah, it's a
Updated?
new version. We're playing in the most recent version, which is 1.19, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
world was created in 1.17, I think. So there might be some different generation than you guys have seen.
It's just not even going to be a desert. It's just going to be.
Well, that was already loaded, so that'll be the same.
I don't know if that ice bike was.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So how long were you working on this?
Honestly, I'd say I mean in total, I'd say I was probably working on it like on and off for like 2 or 3 months, just like on and off.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you like the hours that I worked. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, some days it was like a while. But I'd say
Yeah.
honestly, the thing that took the absolute longest wasn't the building. I mean, the building took a while. It was tedious. That was like intricate. But the hard part was all of the command blocks, because I had no idea how to use command blocks.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the command block like fine tuning was done once I got involved near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we can see, the generation's a little bit different
The
because
generation is amazing. Ice
yeah.
straight into desert.
yeah, there's a snow biome right there.
It makes sense.
So this is the Pharaoh's Tomb. It was named basically 2 days before the season.
Yes.
All the naming was done last.
Yeah, I didn't realize they'd be named, so I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just like, this is
Yeah.
desert place.
Yeah, well, I didn't even really think about doing names until we were doing like the compasses that lead here. And I was like, well, we should have names, I guess. But the idea was that we would transform the normal Minecraft structures into these like grand custom dungeons. So I really like the way you did the entrance here.
Yeah, I put an ender chest. I was like, I'll put an ender chest, so if anybody has any valuables, they can leave it. That,
Yeah.
I believe, was underutilized.
Yeah, I believe nobody ever did anything with that.
Just like,
Oh,
like
here.
even, like, I know it's hardcore, but like, I don't know, it's just like maybe you drop something, maybe like, oh, I don't need to take this in. I don't know.
think
Yeah.
at least for the first one, people didn't know what was going on, so they wouldn't have needed to use it. Plus, also, everyone's hardcore mentality of, well, if I die, what does it matter? So,
Yeah. I think
Fair
the
point.
thing is that in Nate and I's mind, people would have spent a lot more time getting ready.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
would
expecting
think that.
speed run.
You would think that. But not
we are
everyone.
not on the players' team.
Oh, yeah, forgot.
Alright, we're now all players. Alright, so we press the button. Oh,
Hmm.
did something break?
I don't know.
Mob griefing falls.
Wait, it hasn't been touched.
Players
This is-
distance.
this is the game mode.
That's right.
I can keep pressing the button.
Player not found. Oh, it's because we have a plugin installed.
Oh, that's fine. We know the
don't,
coordinates.
Don't
we
keep
can
pressing the button.
just teleport to it. We know the coordinates.
True.
All right.
So yeah, let's just teleport to 5,000, 5,000. Oh my god. I hate this plugin that's installed. It overrides the default Minecraft commands.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So yeah, this is the entrance of Pharaoh's tomb.
I like you guys doubled down on the ender chest. Like, just in case. There's
Yeah,
another
You know,
one.
maybe you put it in there and you
Outside
forget.
and the
You're like,
inside.
man, I wish I would have taken that. You know, because they didn't know what they were getting into, so I was thinking.
Yeah.
And plus,
Sure.
I
So
put
surely they would think about it and bring stuff that they would need. Surely.
yeah.
Really.
Oh yeah, Holly. I don't know if you know the thing like the quick command with F3 and F4 to switch through game modes.
Ah.
Yeah. If you press both F3 and F4, you can switch quickly.
And then tap F4 and hold F3, and you can switch through all the game modes.
Yeah. But this is the opening room.
Oh.
One that had a little bit of mild combat because there were creepers I think down here, but is mostly just a puzzle room.
Well, I don't even know if it's a puzzle. It's just like.
Well, not
Yeah,
really a
that's true.
puzzle.
That's true.
People thought it was more of a puzzle than it was because of the some
Yeah.
being lit, some not lit, the sand in front of some.
Yeah.
I mean, it
But
looked like
really-
it would have been a puzzle.
It's a puzzle insofar as can you spot the thing,
Fair.
and then in there is a
Gonna
button
just-
which opens up the next
Oh
chamber.
my god, there's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
here.
forgot, like, because this is the only place they can spawn.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad, this bad during the season because people were split up.
Yeah. Plus,
But
if you
yeah,
go here
this
at
is pretty
night,
funny.
it's alright.
So this is something that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I
that-
know.
People saw this and really overthought it. This whole choose wisely thing, all it is just you press this and you get an ender pearl.
Yep, but if you
They
press
changed
the other
way water
one,
flows.
no, it just stays. But if you press the other one, then you get lava and it destroys it. Like that's the
Yeah.
extent of it. Just because it's kind of useful
Yeah.
because there's mild parkour in here and you can just skip it.
Yeah. Oh my god, a fucking chicken jockey.
Like this one, rather than having be like, oh, am I gonna walk? You can just
Yeah, if they had an ender pearl, they could go across.
and it gives you two. Get over, get back.
Yeah.
Bam. This is big brain stuff. Counted.
Yeah, and then this button, you
Mhm.
know, you go across. It's not too bad a parkour. It's just
Yeah.
some little basic parkour to make people.
Okay. Hey,
You nervous?
don't look. I might have missed the first jump.
No. And then you press the button, and then it opens up the door to the next part of the dungeon. So this part very much was just introducing people to what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good.
This is the first time that it's. Well, again, this was much less of a puzzle than people thought it was.
Yeah, this was just timing. You just
Yeah, a lot of people they were like, "Oh, well, how do we do it?" It's literally just press all 4 buttons at once. Which,
we cannot do.
no, we can't. We can put down levers, I guess.
Oh, that's true. I'll just bring up this lever.
Yeah, I'd change that one to a lever, and then...
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I accidentally got rid of the button.
It's okay.
That's okay.
You just punch through the brick. You
True.
Yeah.
just wind up your arm.
And just give it a hefty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've levers down on 3 of them.
Everyone in a room.
Oh yeah, and then it shuts
Yeah,
you
so
off.
it does this. Yeah. And then there's 4 different places that it could take you. This one is into the maze, which, unfortunately, bit of an oversight perhaps, you're able to just jump on top of.
Oh god, how? What?
Yeah.
How?
Right over in the middle here, you can,
Oh no.
yeah.
It's a
And
it's a feature.
Yeah, Kasai took advantage of that and skipped the whole maze. But that's okay. Obviously, then there's the person on top supposed to be guiding them through.
Well, you know, things happen.
Yeah, things do happen.
It was a feature, and he discovered the feature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the interesting
She
thing
discovered
is
the feature.
how much of this you guys couldn't have prepped for. Like, you just don't
Yeah.
know what a player is gonna do, and it turned out pretty
Yeah.
interesting that way.
This is interesting right here. Is that oh whoops, accidentally went to the wrong game.
They're seeing all of it.
So, right here, this is why I think it was Chief was saying that he was stuck, was because this one doesn't open up for some reason. So, when he was stuck and then suddenly he wasn't, that was because I had broken those blocks for him.
Yeah, and it's so weird that it did that, because, like... Oh,
Yeah, it...
well, I know why. It's, because it was supposed to spawn a
it's 'cause
redstone
the
block,
lamp.
and, it's spawned
Yeah.
redstone.
So, you know, that's why that happened. Then here's the Maze of Fire. There was something that wasn't seen. Right here, an arrow of fire resistance could have been used, you know, potentially to shoot yourself with it. And get through this area no problem, but, you know, pretty simple maze. You drop down into the water. And here's where the parkour gets a little bit more real. Still pretty easy, though.
Yeah, this was just like a...
One thing that you can do, you can skip here. But the issue with that is, if there's a mob there, it could shoot you back in. Oh, whoops. So yeah, then... Here's the big one. The one that never got to be shown off because Goofy lost his perspective. Is it this way? No.
Yeah, what was the other... Oh, yeah.
I'm at the entrance of it if you want to TP to me.
I found it. So this, everybody, is where Goofy went when he had disappeared in the middle of the dungeon. The land of unicorns and rainbows, really. Take this task at your own risk.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
dude.
tough. You gotta tame them all.
Tame the horses, or not, it's up to you.
I didn't want it to be, like, committal.
Yeah, you don't have to tame all of them, it's just, you know, there's this guy.
And when you step off, you get a potion.
Is it a regeneration potion?
Yeah,
Yeah. It could be,
Dude.
be anything positive, because this is about fun.
yeah.
It's an
Yeah, and then
amazing
the
experience.
rainbows were a little bit of a bitch to make, so it turned into just a sky at this point. But you know, you get the point.
Yeah, well, you know, I figured we were going down lower. It was like, I don't know, the rainbow
Exactly.
should be that low.
Yeah. So this horse is Sparkles. I think this is
Yeah.
very important, is to introduce all the horses.
What do you get, tame?
The one, let's see, there was one back here. Winter. Yeah.
Let's see, there's a horse down here at the bottom. I don't know where the other one is. Did it die? Where?
Surely it didn't die.
No. Well,
Doesn't happen in this pleasant place.
that's true.
Sunshine. Uh-oh. Where is the 4th horse?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know Gilgamesh. He just
Was that its name?
no, I don't remember. It was probably something. I don't know. It should have been.
Yeah. But yeah, and then just drop down here. This is what Goofy was doing for like 10 minutes or whatever while everyone did the rest of the dungeon.
Was he taming them?
Yeah,
He was.
I think so. Yeah.
It's really funny.
And just not saying anything. He was just silently in there taming them.
Oh yeah, he had the option to say like, "Hey, I'm over here." He just was like, "This is
Yeah.
nice."
Yeah, so there's just some stuff around here like tools, armor, regen. I think a big thing that we didn't realize that maybe if we ever do this again we should is that alright, this is something that no one can get into, I think.
Yeah.
Is that there should have been some better loot.
Well, this was the first one.
It was the first one, but I don't know. I guess we figured
I
that
didn't-
we didn't
Yeah, I didn't want to supply. I didn't want them to go through and be like, "Wow, okay, well, everybody got everything they needed,"
yeah.
Because I was
Well,
expecting
we
people
definitely
to prep a
could have
little
put
bit.
like we could have put like a few things of diamond armor in here.
That's true.
At least in like the end chest.
That's true. That's true.
So this is the boss fight that we came up with. We thought it was pretty balanced. It summons in these Tomb Guardians. A lot of them actually die in the walls for some reason.
I don't think any died. Oh wait, that one did.
They are right now.
Take it back.
I don't know why they did that, because they weren't when we were testing, but yeah, so then end up getting the next 2 compasses and this book, which I don't think was ever actually shown because Kasai picked it up, but she read it. The labyrinth keeps lost souls inside, while the Xeon is more than would be implied, so the time is now for you to decide to solve the dungeons and avenge who died. Will you stay together or will you divide? Our thought was that would mean everybody would make the decision to stay together or divide. We didn't think that there would only be 6 people who would then divide into 2 groups of 3. That
Yeah.
was not intended.
Yeah, I was expecting I was prepping for them to go through the stuff, and they were significantly harder. So I was like, okay, there's gonna be more people. They're gonna be ready this time. They're gonna be prepped.
Yeah.
So it won't be as difficult. But that
Unfortunately, decisions were made.
You can't anticipate what 12 people are gonna come together
this
and
is
think.
true.
No.
And even then,
Yeah,
those decisions
we were
weren't
dealing
made
with
by
a
all.
lot of question marks. Yeah, we were dealing with a lot of question marks as to what we would end up doing.
Oh yeah. What's that
Oh,
teleporting
right.
us?
Well, we don't really, people have seen the entrances to the different places. So we can just give a little bit of behind the scenes to what the dungeons actually
Oh,
look
did you just
like.
go into spectator?
Yeah. So this is what the dungeons are from outside. As you can see, it's a little bit less intimidating this way.
Yeah. Yeah. I figure if it's because if you did it on the ground, then you have to do with a lot of other things showing up. But if you did it all the way up in the air, then
Yeah,
everything would fall.
it's just a lot easier to deal with, and then you can have, as we can see with this next one over here, large drops.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're all next to each other.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We just go outside. So this is the entrance to the labyrinth.
I'm just gonna teleport.
which is something that you, Holly, know all too well about.
Yeah, that labyrinth was something else.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing about the labyrinth, I would like to personally apologize for what happened to SP and Chief, Grog and Chief, because that Trident drowned was not supposed to be down there. He was spawned in the tunnels, and he went down there by himself while they were figuring out the maze.
I mean,
I think that the maze was really... It was really good, but there were a couple things that needed to be fixed. One thing is that people could climb vines, or could jump onto this section right here. So during the season, you'll see that I just built up like that, so they couldn't do it anymore. Oh, and for anybody curious, anybody who wants to know what the point of this area is, they would have gotten some slowness arrows and 3 protection 4 netherite chest plates. So, if they could make it through this, definitely worth.
It doesn't look that bad right now. It was a lot worse when I got to it.
Yeah, well, the longer you wait on that thing, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we didn't realize is that people would have a big difficulty realizing that this little door here was opening up when the button was pressed. Because I had my brightness up a little higher, and then I guess you just knew what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the lighting in here is
see, like,
super dark.
Yeah, but you can see, like, you know, it opens up, and then eventually it will close again. Assumedly.
There's a lot of spawns that ended up on top, too.
Yeah. Yeah, there are. And then this lever was to lock it in place. So it seems to already be locked, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was
You're down there.
Yeah, I was down there. I was like, I knew something. I was just checking to make sure it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
no.
what you'll notice is that I actually put a lantern here just to light it up, let people know what was going on.
Yeah, I guess it's like it was weird because like you know what you're looking for when you're making it. You know,
Yeah.
you're ready for it. You're like, oh yeah, look over there. It's obviously opening, duh. So like,
Yeah.
it's very
Keep in
obvious
mind,
to
the
you.
only way people will go about it is the intended way.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something for us to learn from, is to make things maybe a little more obvious.
Yeah.
This was
the
or
spooky
something,
boy.
I don't know. But yeah, and then obviously there was a bit of difficulty with the one group navigating this area, ending with the tragedy right here, 10 feet from the exit. Kasai ended up getting poofed. This part was interesting to me. I expected that people would have some difficulty with this, and that's obviously why the whole thing is water down here.
Yeah.
And certainly Chief and to a somewhat lesser extent Grog did, but ironically, Holly, your whole group made it across first try.
Yeah, none of us fell because I mean, part of it none of us looked down below to know we could survive if we fell. But the other thing was, I noticed, at least watching Grog's perspective, he was hanging really low on it, versus if you stuck up high, you could pretty much follow a path.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's also just a matter of perspective of who is doing it, and I'm sure he's got a lot of other things that I would, a lot more skills and things that I wouldn't have noticed, but this one was surprisingly easy, especially because I know I was terrified going into it.
Did somebody die because
our
they
principal
fell here? Right?
Yeah, so yeah, elephant in the room. You guys thought that the sewer drain went nowhere and there was nothing down there.
Yeah.
So Ryan was climbing back up here. I should have just said, go back down. But I was like, I don't want them to waste their time, so I'm gonna get rid of the vine. So I broke it while he was climbing.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, oh! And then lands here and dies.
Yeah, we were taking that as a sign from God that we messed up and that I guess he didn't deserve to live.
Yeah. I brought him back, though, because an unintentional God death does not really count.
Which we appreciate. That was very kind.
It's now or never.
Yeah,
What is
cut
the
that
other
bad
one?
boy.
No, it's just a big waterfall.
Oh. Fine.
Oops.
What?
The vine is
Honestly,
gone.
fair.
Oh,
Yeah, they tried to leave.
God.
Thanks, George.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Unlucky.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
They had to
Let
me-
make a
let me-
sacrifice to learn the
Let me
truth.
add pizza.
Yeah, you're gonna have
It's
to.
also gone. Hey, George.
Oh wait, let me remove him then.
Guys,
Ryan,
you
this
okay
isn't.
with us?
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Get out, get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh,
Get out of here! Get out of here, boy!
Pizzazz got a second chance.
Pizzazz got a second chance
Pizzazz.
of life.
Merle.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, the path is down here. There's a bunch of lost souls. We tried to set up spawners here, but for some reason it wouldn't work.
Yeah, nothing
Oh.
spawned.
Well, I'm kind of
Weird.
happy there weren't spawners, cause
Yeah, everything spawned enough,
Yeah. Yeah, there were certainly a lot of
which is
Yeah.
interesting because, like, I guess because it's different. Because when we were running through it, like, nothing really happened.
Yeah.
But then,
No. Okay, yeah, here's the fucker, by the way. This guy, for some reason, went all the way from here, all the way down the drain pipe over here.
yeah, I was thinking if he was here, you could like
and-
hide behind the wall. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
hide behind the walls, use the shield, and shoot him, because there's only so many directions. But yeah, he ended up being one of, like, 50 down there.
yeah.
Uh,
Even with however many they cleared out, it was still like a hefty amount by the time we showed up.
I'm gonna be honest, they didn't clear out anything. I actually went in and cleared out a lot of them, including the trident, before you guys got there.
Ah,
Because I knew that it would be game over if I didn't.
yeah.
This part I do feel a little bit...
Yeah, I was about to ask, is there actually
feel like
anything down the
maybe-
paths?
There's a sword in the one barrel.
Mm.
I almost feel like maybe we should have put more to do in these other paths.
yeah, well, I wanted to keep it like pretty sure because I didn't want them to like veer off too far, and I wanted to kind of just like stick with like the theme of okay, there's
Yeah.
4 drains coming down here, rather than having them go off in, like a whole other thing.
Yeah, but it did end up making it
Confusing.
feel like yeah, and like this was pointless, which in a way I guess
It is,
was,
yeah.
but
Like there's no
Yeah.
point.
a lot of people saw this and they were like, surely one of these will have something for us, and then they were like, oh no.
I mean, makes sense as part of the adventure because it's kind of fun to be like, oh, nothing down there. Well, surely it has to be the next one. Surely it has to be the next one, leaving you with only the option that you were severely avoiding.
Yeah. The only option that you have to come down here. Another thing that is my bad, I should have realized, is that right now it's a little hard to tell that there's anywhere else to go, especially since you're going to be focused on these guys.
Yeah,
You're not going to be focused on slight discoloration in the walls.
look like turtles.
So what I ended up, yeah, the turtles. What I ended up doing was placing lanterns inside of here, which definitely helped to be like, hey, there's something here for you to do.
Yeah. No, I definitely think
This
that
side,
helps signal things.
yeah, this side having the all important copper.
Look, that copper is important to me.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
and Eli.
You know what you can make?
Oh, dude, I just noticed the sleeping bag here.
All about that lore.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
I
deep
just
lore.
somehow have not noticed your little lore you included there.
Good storytelling.
Yeah, you did a lot of subtle visual storytelling in these. Here's just the cave descent down with some mobs and stone pillars and whatnot. Before we get to possibly my biggest mistake, I'd like to specify that the way that Nate had made this was pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean you soloed it.
Oh, sure, I soloed it, yeah, even after I made the change.
Wait.
But where I fucked up was changing these guys' swords to axes.
Oh, because it broke their shield.
Yeah. That was bad. I also don't think you made them wither skeletons first.
There were tripwires.
No, I think they were with it.
There were tripwires that
They fired a.
They fired blindness
blindness.
arrows. You'll see that the arrows' data's being modified. That was a command I had to run to make it so they couldn't be picked up.
Ah.
Yeah, then you guys have a bunch of. I mean, then again, I don't know. I mean, you could just pick up darkness arrows. It's not like it would
Shoot each
I
other
look
with
at you
them.
more than
I
another
guess,
arrow.
but- Yeah, and then what didn't help, for sure, was the extreme punch on the Stray's bows.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that actually, not only does it spawn them, but after a bit it also opens up here. Here's a book and quill that never got read.
That's a shame.
Ooh, secret.
When we come upon the final hour, you shall join me at my tower. In front of the taken you shall cower, as you confront my infinite power. Signed, the Architect. All those were written by me. Nate didn't write.
I didn't write it.
these.
I will not take credit for those. Those were beautiful.
No. As well as here's some diamonds. This is the compass to the final tower, and some night vision and water breathing potions. So as you can see, we fully intended this dungeon to be done before the other one, but we gave people the option
Also,
to split up if they
could
want.
you have skipped the other one, or is the key still at the other one?
No. The key is in the other one.
Ah.
The other one is another interesting point because people don't know about the other one.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question from our good buddy Cam for you about the next
Okay.
one. He asked, "Who hurt you that you left the entrance to the dungeon the way it is?"
Yeah.
Like with all of the Elder Guardians still there, and
Because you told me you wanted to keep the,
yeah,
keep it the same.
that
so
is the answer.
I was-
That pretty much is the answer.
I wanted to keep it the same.
My one regret with that is that we should have kept the room with the button drained. Like it should have been air instead of water to make pressing the button easier.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh wait, they didn't see it.
yeah.
Should you discuss it or should you wait?
No, I think we'll show them. We'll show them everything.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I mean they saw like they saw the room like going in and the beginning part of the dungeon because I had spec footage of Goofy when he actually made it inside.
Oh yeah.
So we can fly over there now. Oh, found it.
God, I was actually just sitting here pretending I was looking.
Yeah, so this one is a little bit interesting with the way that it's set up. So when you press the button, you go into here. Also, a bit of a goof on my part. You guys noticed multiple times some dead people came back to life for a couple seconds. I forgot to remove people from the players' team. And the command blocks for this dungeon didn't even have the specification of the players' teams, so just everybody who was around there was set to adventure mode. It was a whole thing.
Fun.
Here we have a spawner, which may or may not have actually worked.
And
I
I don't know
forget.
if it did.
And this will bring you to the area that was briefly shown, I believe. It's just a little cave area with some mobs. Oh, I no longer have strength.
But then what happened though? Right? It was
Yeah, so he got to here, and you guys saw, like, he went through here. I don't think you actually saw it open, so it's a really cool door. So here's the issue. I don't know if it's currently fixed or not, but we'd not reset it, like the thing, so the water was full, but it wasn't able to be drained at the time. Yeah, see now it is.
Yeah.
So he didn't flip it until he was draining with it, meaning he was just sitting here with guardians attacking him. So obviously that was not going to go well. But essentially, going through here, you would get to... this is something that an idea that I'd come up with, that I was thinking would be a little bit more lethal, but it was probably good it's not. This is packed snow parkour. You have to choose where is packed snow and where it's not, based on, looking carefully.
Oh.
And, well,
I didn't even know there was
yeah,
a
once you make it
difference.
to the other side... Oh, true, you have boots, you don't need to worry about it. You press that button,
Oh yeah.
which
Got leather boots.
opens up this area. So this is the twist of this dungeon, is that it's not really a water dungeon. First part is, this is where the name comes from. I can explain it now. So, Phorcys is an ancient Greek god of dangers in the hidden depths. And Xeon basically is ancient Greek for boiling water. Or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So that's where I got the name from.
So,
Essentially, the point of it is that halfway through it becomes a fire temple.
so actually, there were people exploring in the Nether. Would they have possibly been able to come across this if had they gone the right direction?
No.
Well, this is on the Nether roof, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on the Nether roof.
So they could have come over here, maybe even talked with people who ended up over here, if anybody did. But they wouldn't have been able to get up here unless they broke through the Nether roof, by chance.
And that's
Uh.
illegal. You could go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have let them do that. Yeah, so this is the area. Basically, the goal is to light up all of these lights to lower the lava curtain. Now, somebody could just go right through.
They could, yeah.
They could. It's something we didn't really think about. But they could do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, like, I mean, I guess you had to if you made a splash potion, it'd be fine. But I figure you'd be prepping
Yeah.
not for, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Once again, I thought the preparation would not be for that. You'd be like, ooh, water, liquid water. Let's prep for water. Water
Yeah.
breathing potions. Let's do this. But everybody speed ran it, so they had everything
Yeah.
in their inventory that they would need.
Yeah. So the goal was to find all of the buttons and click them. There were some chests around, some piglin brute spawners. This area is actually pretty cool because this is reachable if you find like a secret button or whatever. So yeah, there's just a bunch of rooms around with some various stuff, various puzzles to figure out in a couple of them. Loot. I think here's a mending book, some carrots. Enchantment room. This is the fun do you want to die room where you can commit suicide on the beds.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to sleep in the Nether.
Nope.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, there's this room, the kitchen, And here's the dining room. Hoglins spawn all around, which makes this extra fun.
I was thinking.
Bunch of barrels in here. And here is the trapdoor that leads down to this area, where you have to wander around with blindness, trying to find the stuff down here. The one thing that's down here, I can clear. There is the button over here. However, secretly, there's a little side branch here. This way leads nowhere. But this one has a bunch of barrels that have various things in them. But one of them...
I think it was over here. Oh, here it is.
What is this wall? Oh, here it is. Has the sacrificial skull. We did not really expect people to do this, but, if they did, they would get a good reward from it. Where's the thing for it? Oh, another chest. Ah, here it is. So we set up a little ritual circle. And basically, if you throw the skull in there, it opens up that loot room we were in earlier.
Yeah, and nobody's like seeing any commands or anything, so they have no idea what's happened. They threw the skull in and that was it.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. Like, we see that because we have it on, but it would be off. So there is, as you can see, a lot of good loot in here. Like, these enchanted apples, they could just run through the lava wall like that.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, this is absolutely the only place where we really just let people have rewards.
Fair.
There's no rewards here. Oh yeah, I forgot about all the spawners for the
Yeah, that made it a little bit difficult for people.
Yeah.
I think at one point, like, we were doing a run through of this after the season, and we found out that you don't need to actually get all 8 of them for it to open, but I think you fixed that.
It was either 6 or 4 or something.
It was a specific one that opened it, if I remember.
I don't know.
But anyway, that brings you, once you get through there, it brings you into here. Here is a fun little lava puzzle that requires multiple people.
Which was
Unless you get really lucky with, like, hoglins or whatever. Yeah, the goal is to get the lava from here flowing into each of these holes all at the same time.
yeah, one person has to be up here like the whole time in order to actually get it to for it to flow, and then it's up to you to.
Yeah. So at the very least, you need 2 people to do this.
Yeah,
but-
you could. Yeah, we think we did test it to see if we could do it with 2 people.
Yeah, and I think I was able to do it, but, like, just barely. It's best if you have at least
If you have 3,
here.
it's actually really easy.
Yeah. But that would... I believe that opens up this door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can keep going around.
Not gonna lie, I don't think I regret running away from this one.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a... So then you end up on the other side of this wall from earlier. And this is the fun part. You get here, a bit of a grand, you know, entrance hall type room, with a lever over there and a book here. For those that wish to conquer death, to survive beyond your final breath, flick the lever and so appears the infernal beast of all your fears. Keep in mind it need only roam. Its freedom opens the pathway home. Basically meaning, this lever is gonna spawn a wither. You can fight it if you want to conquer death, or you can just leave, because as soon as it is spawned, this door opens and you can get this shit and bounce. But the benefit to killing it, the conquering death part, is that
Oh, I got it.
oh, thank you. Oh,
That was really weird.
Yeah.
that didn't happen in testing.
That did. No, I don't think that happened in general. That was really strange.
I see
could
what's
be the
happening.
plugin.
It's not killing the Nether Star. That's what the issue is.
It's still spawning.
Yeah, basically it would replace a Nether Star with totems. Anyway, you only need the one, which is what it would typically only spawn, except for the plugin.
Was it just infinitely spawning?
Yes.
Should we do something here, or like, what if I just get lava? You know?
Yeah, that works.
You know, I don't need the game to like blow up. Okay, I think that worked.
Yeah. So then that is the last thing, so we can check what was in these chests here. So there is this book, the final quest, and a key. So this says, "Come to me, and you will find what once was yours and now is mine." That's referring to my character, the Taken. "Challenge him, and you will see, you lot will never defeat me." Didn't really flesh out the motivation of the architect, other than just being a powerful guy who likes to fuck with them.
Yeah, I just have a passion for woodworking.
Yeah. that really is what it is.
I'm like a really dangerous person.
Yeah, so I think... I guess we can just bust through the wall to get to the portal.
Well, yeah, I don't know where the tower is, because the tower wasn't in the same spot. Because I had to spawn all these together, or make all these together, like, just teleport.
I think I know where it was. It was like... It was like around here? No.
If you follow the coordinates for the,
Well, yeah, you have the...
I have the compass to it, but I want to try... Okay, I think I'm right near it. Yep, here I am. You can teleport to me. So you follow the compass, it leads you here. This is already broken, but I can show you basically what happens. Let's say that...
Well, it's just the command, I think, removes blocks, so just fill it in.
Yeah. So it'd be like that. The key goes in this, the insert key hopper. You throw that in and... Now, oh, you were already in there? Okay. Yeah, so this room kills you. So either somebody would need to die, or somebody would go in with one of these. Whoops. That wasn't
Yes,
the right
the
key.
benefit of that... I mean, well, yeah, obviously, you get to...
Yeah,
But
theoretically...
that was...
Theoretically, it would also teleport you outside, but the fucking plug-in, you know. And yeah, then you get to the, you know, the final tower. This is the wizard tower, whatever you want to call it. It's, the first truly difficult parkour segment.
Yeah, you guys should have just flown. I don't know why you guys did the parkour.
Yeah,
It would've been
I
so
feel like
much
it's much
easier.
easier to just fly up.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, when you guys were playing.
Yeah, theoretically, there is nothing that stopped them from going to the end, getting elytras, and getting fireworks, and just flying up.
Or
oh,
getting
nobody
into
there
Ender
would have been that
Pearls.
smart. Plus then, well actually our goal for the people who hadn't joined up was still to defeat the dragon, so had we gotten to that point, we could have.
Yeah. In here, there's, you know, 6 netherite chest plates, just in case. There might have even been 7 at one point. I don't...
Yeah, I don't know. There might have been something in the middle. Oh, yeah, yeah, I think there was 7, because...
Yeah, I think yeah, it was taken out for a different thing that I was
Yeah.
doing on here. And then you get up here, last book. You did well to make it here, but up above will soon appear the very thing that you so fear, that taken his mind and my victory is near. You know, just general villain stuff. And then up here would be the fight with, you know, he would be up here, I would be, like, chilling right here. And then there'd be a little, tiny little villain monologue, and then I'd hop down, and there'd be a fucking duel to the death.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't-
Basically,
yeah.
yeah, now that we've walked through what the map is, we can talk about, like, you know, our ideas behind it. Like, our basic principle, especially for you, like, designing the parkour and the fights and the puzzles, if you want to call them that, was, accounting for idiocy.
Yeah. Well, not even idiocy, just, like,
No.
you just, like... It's like,
In
all
the
right,
nicest
I've
way
made...
possible, our group makes a lot of silly mistakes sometimes. So we wanted to account for that.
Expect the unexpected.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just make it so that way when people run through stuff, there's no real path. If there's a path, then you can veer off it, but you know, if there's not a path, then well, problem solved.
Yeah.
Because it's like little things like that thing in the jungle one. I mean, it's like you made the whole thing, and then you weren't like, all right, I need to test to make sure I can jump from every single point on this one
Yeah.
pillar to make sure I can't reach one of the barrier blocks that I can't see. It's like it's not.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, it's funny because actually, like, you had taken a long time to prevent people from being able to do that. except you missed the one area that they managed to find. It was crazy how people will sniff out ways to break things that you make.
So yeah, I think it was only Kasai who ended up on top of both of the mazes.
Yeah.
So maybe it just wasn't Kasai proof.
mazes. That's the thing, is next time we need to have Kasai be a beta tester.
Yeah, exactly.
Run through it and try to break everything.
Yeah. You want to get to the top, and then you can, you can make the jump.
Yeah, it's doable. You can jump off, make it.
Yeah, you just make sure you don't jump from the other side. And that's.
Yeah, there is one side that you can't make it from.
Oh no, never. So if you have like a bunch of totems of Undying, I don't know how you get those, but if you just conveniently have them,
yeah,
pretty easy. Like let's say you have like
that's the thing is that a lot of the important stuff that you get from like rewards and stuff, you can totally get yourself easily. It's just, will people go out of their way to do that? Like, will people go out of their way to either find a mansion or do a raid? No.
Yeah.
Which is why the totem as like a reward during the quest was a good idea.
Yeah, and like throughout the whole thing when I was putting all the stuff in, I was trying not to make it like that's why none of the stuff was like too crazy good, because I didn't want it to be like, okay, that's our main source. That's our main source, because I was still expecting people to build a base, go mine, get this, get things, enchant. Things like
I was
that.
definitely... Yeah, I did not expect them to... I mean, they kind of had a good amount of gear for the first dungeon, and like a good number of people. I just did not expect them to immediately be like, alright, we're ready for the next ones.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the beauty of doing something like this, is that, you can't expect what they're gonna do. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. And it sort of made it so that the entire season was like one giant tragedy. Like, so many things could have prevented what happened.
The amount of party splits that happened over the course of it was nuts.
It was crazy. I cannot believe that you guys split up because of the fucking donkey.
Well, I think the original intention was that with that was we knew he had the 4C Xeon compass. So it was like, oh, okay, he'll follow.
Totally left.
I honestly...
And then only like 5 minutes later you were like, oh, we shouldn't have left that.
Yeah, that's where I don't really know. I honestly don't remember what happened in between of the, oh wait, why haven't they shown up yet? Oh, we're just gonna go to the next place. Like, I don't really know where that brain went, but at least for the first part, it was like, well, he can meet us there, he'll give up on the donkey. Apparently not.
He never gave up on that
donkey. I was like,
donkey.
apparently not, but we believed that we could move on.
I mean, they left him down there at the base of the tower, but they never gave up on him. That was another thing. We did not really think, even though I guess it would make sense, we didn't realize that this tower was on the way to 4C Xeon from home.
I mean, I'm sure you also expected all of us to go to the first dungeon, so it's just a lot of who knew that was going to be the route that was taken.
Oh, exactly. But I think that we definitely learned a lot about how to make one of these in the future.
Oh, I would love to do one again.
I mean, there might be one in store.
Whoa!
Yeah, not to spoil anything. I mean, I don't really know too much other than the general premise, but maybe there's one.
Might be a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, it might not exactly be this style, but still very, very cool.
Hey, and you can split up as much as you want.
Look, I think I might be an advocate for sticking together next time.
That's probably the best idea.
Not a bad idea.
Like D&D, don't split the party.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Grog should have known that. He's a D&D guy. He should know and never split
And he was the one who initially did it.
He was.
Do we have any people
So yeah, anything else that
calling
you
in?
want
Oh.
to say?
I don't know. No,
I don't think so.
people calling. I was talking about the viewers. Like, are they calling in? You have the number
Oh,
on
true.
screen.
Yeah. Yeah, let me put the number on screen real quick. Call
Yeah.
in now.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I feel like going through it is pretty straightforward. Honestly, I think the only issue, I'd say the only issues that really came up seriously was that we ran through it, and then we were like, all right, cool, and then we didn't reset it.
Yeah, there was a lot of small errors on our part as like administrators. Something big that sort of threw me off and might have contributed to a little bit of scuffness. Initially, you were supposed to be there, but you actually couldn't make it. And we were just like, well, that's fine. You'll be there for, the next day of this. Because we assumed it would be multiple days. But that just meant that you weren't there for the season at all.
And it turned out.
So I had to run it
I mean,
alone.
it worked out okay.
Yeah, it worked. It ended up being fine.
It is funny that,
but it definitely made it so I was stretched.
That is funny that you said, because you were just like, oh man, okay, all right, I got to run the first one, and then they'll go back, and then we'll see. But they just went written all of them, and I'd be like, you just
I had
lied
to deal
as
with
soon as
5 different groups of people, all of them like asking me for like signs or like hints or whatever, and I'm like, bro. I'm not watching you right now. Like, I would have other dead people, like, telling me, oh, these people are stuck in adventure mode still. Because anybody who came to this tower would be put in adventure mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And then they don't get updated when they leave, so I had to, like, come in and, like, update everyone's mode, like, a few times. While I was trying to watch people, like, in the Labyrinth and the Xeon. It was a lot.
I think what we could have done in the future is just put like a barrier around it that switches people's game modes. Yeah.
I think so. Honestly, I think something that really would have helped a lot, rather than trying to do all of this with command blocks, if we'd done shit with like World Guard regions. Because like inside a World Guard region, we could set it so people couldn't break blocks, like without having to change them to adventure. We could make it so that people would have their modes switched when entering or exiting an area.
Yeah, that would have been a good.
We could even teleport them if they enter an area, so we could have like, instead of like the buttons, we could have like a hallway that while walking through the hallway, they teleported into the same hallway built elsewhere.
That would have been cool.
It's something that I've been thinking about now, so a little later.
I will say, even with all this like retrospect that you guys got, as a person who ran through it, I know you guys are feeling like, oh, this is scuffed. We didn't notice for the most part. Like, the only singular time was like, oh, we can't do anything. We're in adventure mode. Ah, well. But like, it ran really smoothly on our end, and I think we were so enamored and also freaked out about just the whole deal of it that you guys, in our perspective, it ran real smooth.
Oh, well, that's good to
hear. Yeah, I was like, I know you guys are...
I'm glad. I'm aware that a lot of this is just like, a creator's own anxieties.
And I am here to be the voice to go to your anxiety and say, this was fucking awesome. We had the time of our lives. Even if we only made it one night and experienced, in some cases, one temple completely unexperienced going into it. It was so cool and so much fun.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, in my mind, the reason why I wanted to do this, and I think probably why you were so keen to do it, other than just the joy of building, is creating such a unique experience for these people. Like, this was a one-of-a-kind event that really, like, you know, it can be run again with different people or even with the same people, but it won't have the same magic of, like, this is the first time this has ever happened. This is a brand new experience just for you guys. And you got one chance to try to make it through. I think, and that's sort of the embodiment of hardcore, really.
So it's cool to be able to switch things up for this one and have it so much more unique.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess if we got nothing else to say, thanks so much, guys, for watching hardcore this season. You know, we put a lot of work into it. We got the guy who built everything here. We got the artist of, you know, all the art pieces was done by Holly.
Oh yeah, no,
and
always
of course I edited it all. Yeah. So we're kind of the three who really worked hard to make this happen. So thank you everybody for supporting us.
Yeah.
Means a lot. So yeah, see you guys next time.